New blog 15. What we will begin with is just a seed. It is called that because a seed contains the final tree, waiting to come into being. Only our care and attention is needed. That is the warmth, light, and water that the seeds need to grow. We ourselves are the soil. I was focused on absorbing his words. Now is the time to come, to know and to receive. And before, are there any questions that anyone still needs to ask? Quiet filled the room for long moments. Then Simon Zelotes spoke up. Master, people have been asking me a question, and I don't know how to answer. Is it fit that a woman should receive the sacred truths, they ask? For it is against our holy law, they say. Please help me how to answer this. Are these people here, Simon, so that they can ask this for themselves? He asked. I felt frozen to the spot. Simon looked around for a few seconds. No, Lord, I don't think that they are. Yeshua got up from his seat. That is good, he said, because this question has no place here. I felt myself frowning angrily, in sympathy with him as much as for myself. He stepped forward, his robe brushing past me like a refreshing breeze filled with springtime, dissolving any anger away. You, Joseph, and you, David, and you, he picked out half a dozen people by name, the kindness in his voice completely dispelling the disruption of moments before. Please go with my mother and await in the appointed place. Prepare yourselves in quiet, and I will come to show you the way within this very day. When they had gone, he turned back to the rest of us, taking up the point again with near weariness. That was the sort of question that the lawyers and Pharisees bring to me, not someone who has started to understand their own need for peace, for joy, for truth, for knowing real love. Why do you think our Father would not care for all his children, just the same, but instead subject it to such laws? Where is the person who will come with simple humility to their God? Had I been the one to bring this question? I asked myself, concerned at the passion that the issue had caused, that I was not amongst the chosen. Was it my mistake? What counts to me is what you have in your heart, your thirst, your desire, your yearning. This is the only thing that counts to me. God's law is written in our hearts, not in the scriptures. Only when our hearts become closed to ourselves do we need these books, and even then they are a poor substitute. Not even a substitute at all, in fact. What was he saying now? Look, he said, if a prophet were to write, God's law is in men's hearts, wouldn't that be true? Exactly what I have just said? Then a priest comes along and says, ha ha, it is written, God's law is in men's hearts. So definitely not in women's hearts. They are different from men in this respect. Slightly nervous laughter went through some of the parts of the room. The master stepped forward again amongst the aspirants, touching several on the shoulder, one by one, saying quietly to each, go with the others and await my coming. Then to John, take these and show them where to await me. Again, he waited for a few moments after they'd all got up and left. Can it ever be possible to untwist the thinking of the priests and lawyers, who have spent so much time twisting the strands of their rope together to make it strong, little knowing that this rope is to go about their own necks? He was serious. The whole room went quiet, attentive. Let your thinking be straightforward, and it can be as a soft garment for you, and yet strong to protect you from the wind and rain of life's trials. Work from your own experience, and you will make real progress. Feel what this life has to bring for yourself, not what others tell you. Then you will start to distinguish the real from the unreal. There were noises at the front of the house. It sounded like some sort of delegation waiting to speak to Yeshua, full of demands. He turned to a young man sitting to one side. If I give you this gift today, will you guard it carefully and tend it with love? I will, replied the youth soberly. And will you, he said, turning to the one sat next to me, give it a real chance to flourish in your life? Yes, I will. Then go with James, both of you, and I will give you the keys to enter in by. He paused and said to Simon, debating points of law is not going to win the day, Simon. You can do better than that. Find out what the person wants, and if they just want to argue, then walk away. If they are actually trying to understand, then offer what you have from your own experience. That is all you can do. Half-raised voices continued to intrude from out the front of the house. Judas, please deal with the council's representatives that we can hear outside. You know how to talk with them. Don't alienate them deliberately, but I shall not speak with them today. Judas went out to do the master's bidding. Today is a special day, he continued, in the way that every day becomes special when we make time to sit in the company of our own soul. Those who are ready, there is nothing more to be asked. I felt I would burst with the aching for him to choose me too. Simon, has that answered your question? The room was very quiet, but I could feel the doubt still lingering there. The back of my neck prickled, but I couldn't look around. Yeshua returned to his seat and sat facing us again, drawing the attention to himself. Finally he spoke out with quiet force. If God's law is that women cannot receive this teaching, shall I make Mary into a man so that she can receive it? Stunned silence. No one would have imagined such a thing. Who would dare to suggest that he could not do this? Or that he was joking either?